Joe Powell here with the ThinkSmart whiteboard. The ThinkSmart whiteboard is a Windows app that converts your computer or tablet into a shared online whiteboard where you can collaborate back and forth to each other. So obviously this works well if you're doing a remote tutoring to a teacher, to a student, and you're a teacher and you want to teach them algebra. Obviously you can just let's just write something on the board. So say 3x plus 6 equals 12. And obviously you see as I'm writing here, everything is written here on the other computer. And you can connect classrooms of up to 500 people. So you can have one-on-one communication with someone, or you can have up to 500 people connected to a session and observing and learning as they need to. And they can also save their own notes so they can pull them up anytime, irrespective of what the teacher is doing on their end. So let's clear these scribbles, and let's load a picture, and we'll show you that you can also use diagrams and load something. So just say if you're an architect, you don't have time to go across town to approve some diagram that someone made. Let's load this onto the whiteboard. So it's loaded here, and it also appears here. And let's just say someone said, oh, well, I think we need to do something with this transistor or this resistor. Let's move it over here so we can increase the resistance. But somebody would say, oh, no, well, I disagree. I think maybe we need to change that. So why don't we do something with this right here? We need to maybe add a ground fault circuit, or we need to do something where we need to try to create there from being a short circuit in this diagram. Obviously, I don't know anything about diagrams and transistors, but it's an example of what engineers could possibly use this software for when they're collaborating, and they don't have to physically be in the same room together. Let's just say you are teaching a math class. Let's clear the scribbles, clear the screen. And you are teaching math to maybe an enthusiastic group of teenagers. And you wanted to say, let's see if we can find a picture on here. We'll load a concept car. And so we'll tell them, okay, well, why don't you tell me about if you can calculate the circumference? And obviously the writing is not that good here, so we can just change the color. Let's change it to white and say, why don't you tell me the circumference of this tire if I give you the dimensions? Or in class, somebody else calculate the volume of this car. Let's say we'll say this is going to be 6 feet. This is going to be 11 feet. This might be 4 feet. Obviously, my dimensions are off. I'm not a designer, but you can see when you're calculating, you're collaborating, you can write notes back and forth to each other. You can annotate, you can do your calculations. Just say you do the antiderivative sign, x2 plus 6, and then you want to do something and you're trying to do some calculations with this car. You can do that on this ThinkSmart whiteboard. Obviously, if you're a doctor, you can use diagrams and say, I disagree with something that you're doing with my patient. Maybe we need to do the incision here, do the incision there. Whatever you needed to do to collaborate and mind map or write notes to each other, do diagrams. If you want a remote tutor, this program is perfect for you. Just say if you didn't have this, you can also, if you didn't have an expensive tablet that costs $1,000, you can obviously use one of these devices. You can use a stylus along with a Wacom tablet or a similar graphics tablet and be able to write on this device. So you see that I'm writing here. Everything that I'm writing is also being written here. So this device costs less than $50, so it's very affordable for people who cannot afford a $1,000 device. And the barriers to entry to being able to use innovative software to where you can collaborate with each other and learn different languages, learn how to do algebra, learn how to do physics, brainstorm, come up with ideas, invent new ideas. This is a software that allows you to do this through the ThinkSmart whiteboard.